perfectly into what I next wanted to ask Bharat is, I mean, Julian's already talked about, in a way, foundations needing to take a step back. Is it a role that foundations are going to have to take on much more, is holding government to account, really challenging government in a situation when the voluntary sector might be less able to do it than it has been in the past? Bharat, what do you think?
Yeah. Can I just sort of go back a bit and say what's actually being rewritten here is the social contract? And I'll speak primarily about the UK rather than on a global basis, but inequality within and between nations is actually one of the most fundamental issues that's around. That's leading to movement of people, that's leading to wars, that's leading to strife, distress, and the cause of a number of the issues that we might be trying to address. So for me, you know, when we're moving from a position of the social contract changing, that begs a number of sort of fundamental questions about the role of foundations. And I think Julian's absolutely right that what's happened, or in fact Anthony said that what you've got is government set the landscape, and it's really a critically important question about whether we in the foundation world are able to enable organizations or indeed ourselves to change any of that or question any of that sort of fundamental movement, whether it's right or not. It begs all sorts of questions about our own accountability, our own transparency, and what right have we got to influence that kind of movement when it's a democratic government that's actually enabling certain things to come into being. To answer your question directly, you know, in a way, it's partly about horses for courses. So Nuffield Foundation, for instance, or Joseph Rowntree Foundation, commission research, have a sort of huge machines on the communication side of making the information available, shining a light, you know, whether it's a sort of spotlight on an issue, whether it's illuminating in a whole different area of social welfare concern, education, whatever it happens to be. And it makes that available to try to influence policy and practice. There are other organizations like mine. We do a combination of things, of funding organizations, but also of producing information, making available data that hopefully will lead to not just those organizations, but maybe statutory agencies at regional, local, or national level changing policies because some information has been made available. The dichotomous, and I know you put it forward, Julian, as a sort of as an Aunt Sally, so to speak, but it's not they're not mutually exclusive. Foundations can believe in the market, and foundations can be focused on challenging, questioning power structures. The living wage campaign is an example where we funded, my organization funded an entity quite early on to develop its capacity, and it was funded, it wasn't an investment. It's now come to a position where the Living Wage Foundation has been set up, and it will be moving on to a market-led approach while the number of members that it secures are the ones that are able to pay for its sustainability. So you can move from one where there are issues about challenging power structures and to one that's actually using a market-led force.
Okay, thank you.